All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a live podcast from Dudes Missing the Mark. It's Mark, it's Jay, and it's my guy Cody, all the way in town from
Hey,
California. For those listening on the YouTube or watching on the YouTube, just we're very pretty. We're all huddling very nice, and we all smell great. So good to see you guys in person. This is gonna be fun.
I don't know how we smell great. It's been a long day. It's late at night.
You work in an office.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't leave this bubble and this aura just sort of somehow. I'm just saying, I don't know why we all don't. I was very surprised, y'all. I'm impressed.
I honestly I laid around on the couch all day just waiting till this time. So I took a shower around like 6, and so I smell great. Got my clothes straight out of the dryer, so I'm rocking, ready to go. Excited to be back in Texas, live, doing it big. Dude's missing the mark.
Ow! Dude's missing the mark. Jay, I just realized just smells like farts because he's been basking in farts in the office. So that's what it smells like. So.
Hey, some days are like that.
All right. Well, we have a great show for you guys today. We are going to obviously talk about the Rangers being up 2-1 in the ALCS. We also
2-0.
What did I say?
2-1.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
2-0.
2-0.
Everybody.
I'm trying to give a Astros credit where there's no credit due.
Yeah, screw them.
Yeah.
Screw them. Yeah, they've won every game they've played in the playoffs. So congrats to them so far. So also got some NFL stuff. Cowboys are once again the greatest team ever. 49ers and Eagles are terrible. So well, guys, let's get it going. But before we start, shout out to our sponsor, Shiner Beer, brewed in Texas for Texans. It's 1909. So here we go, boys. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Dance party. Oh, chugging. All right. Okay. And let's go. Cody, let's start. The Texas Rangers in the ALCS. We're up 2-0 on those stupid Houston Astros.
I mean, it's amazing. My pastor at church in San Francisco or in Santa Rosa, he's actually from Houston, big Houston Astros fan. And so I had a chain going with him, and I just told him, like, you are going to fall in love with these Texas Rangers and the righteousness of which they uphold baseball in Texas. It's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, we've won in multiple ways, right? So the first game was 2-0. And we shut them down with our defense. We shut them down with our pitching, and we did just enough on offense. Where in the second game, we got a big lead on them early, and then Evaldi got the huge bases loaded, nobody out, got out of that with nobody scoring in the 6th inning, and the bullpen was able to bring it home, and we held on. 2-0 coming back home to Arlington. Can't really ask for anything better in the ALCS.
I mean, you steal 2 on the road. That's all you can really ask for,
No.
right? But what are your thoughts on Evan Carter not starting against left-handers?
I think it needs to stop immediately. I understand you want to play Grossman. That's been kind of the MO this whole season. It's been kind of Grossman and Duran and Garver. They're all kind of switching in and out. And Grossman would get to start against lefties. Evan Carter's too good to leave out of the lineup. Like, you just got to play him.
Yeah.
At this point, you wouldn't take Bryce Harper out of the lineup for the Phillies, no matter who's pitching. Evan Carter is one of our 4 best players in the postseason. Like, don't take him out. Like,
I like that you're already comparing him to Bryce
oh,
Harper.
no, I think he's better than Bryce Harper.
31-year-old guy in the league for like 12 years. He's better than that.
By far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't
I think it goes Corey Seager, Evan Carter, and then Ohtani, and then,
Ohtani's on the playoffs. So.
Yeah. Well, then probably Bryce Harper would be number 3.
Is he? Can you be the best player in the world if you don't make the playoffs?
I think in baseball you can.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Trout's done it for
forever.
Literally except for his rookie year. So
yeah, no, I think you can get away with that in baseball. But in all seriousness, coming back 2-0 lead, we're probably going to do the bullpen game coming here. If honestly, I'm not even concerned if we lose one in Arlington. If we're going back to Houston up 3-1, then I feel comfortable with that. Unless we do, is it 2-3-2? I forget in baseball. Sometimes it's like 2-3-2, and sometimes 2-2.
I think it's I'm 99% sure it's 2-3-2 because they don't want too many days in between games.
Okay.
Basketball, they don't give a shit. They'll give 2 days in
Yeah.
between the finals. That's when the finals takes like a
12
month.
years, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
so long.
Okay,
So
so
long.
if it's 2-3-2, I expect the Rangers to have this done in 5. I don't think we'll go back to Houston then.
I like that.
My brother-in-law Raphael, if you're listening, you are going to game 4. So I hope you see a sweep and hope you see the clinch. Astro fans, if you're listening and watching, I'm giving you the middle finger. We hate you. Go back to Houston.
There's nothing about Houston that anybody likes, I feel like who goes back to Houston is like, I love it, this is my favorite. It's just a point of I have to be here, I feel like.
It's people lying to themselves if they say they like they live in Houston. I love it here. Okay.
Sure.
Have you been to other cities? Anywhere?
Yeah.
Courtney and I stayed in the Hotel Icon on our honeymoon, like as we were making our way down to Galveston. That was pretty cool. It was like a bank an old school bank that they had turned into a hotel, and that's about the coolest part of Houston. So
well, I think that's a cool hotel.
Yeah.
So like it's for people
to leave.
Yeah, to stay
exactly.
for a little bit at that really cool place and
Exactly.
then get the heck out of there.
So, I agree.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. We got the Phillies and Diamondbacks that are on right now. I think it's 3. Oh my God, it's 6-0 Phillies now.
Okay.
All right, so maybe the Rangers will play the Phillies. They look like a good team to face, I guess.
They're scary. They're scary in the sense of that they were there last year, right? And they have some star power on the team. I'd much rather play the Diamondbacks, but
yeah.
At this point, this Ranger team, it doesn't seem to matter who we play. Like we're just gonna go in and beat the barn doors off of them. We played the Orioles, who had the most wins in the MLB this year. So and we beat them.
Put the bats to them, man.
Yeah.
So Philadelphia Phillies we have no rivalry with them as Rangers fans. We don't care about them. I don't think we've ever played them in we've only played the Giants and the Cardinals in the World Series, and obviously American League teams we rival with the Cowboys and the Eagles rivalry. Do you feel the same sense of rivalry, or would you feel the same sense of rivalry in a World Series against them?
I'll let Jay go first. He can answer this.
I don't think you could cross maybe Philly.
Same fans.
I feel like Philly, they're like everything's so close there, and they are hardcore fans, but they're hardcore fans across the board. I don't know. Y'all know I'm not big on baseball, so I don't cross reference my hate for teams. So I don't know. It's personal things. I'm gonna say no.
I say yes. I think, in fact, I've honestly kind of felt this way about the Phillies, even back when it was the Ryan Howard, Jeff Kent Phillies, like that.
Well, Jeff Kent. You're trying to think of Chase Utley.
No, Chase Utley. Okay, yeah. Good good white second baseman. That was I was referring to. Yes. Though even back in those days, it was like screw Philadelphia, man. And the 76ers, it brings me joy when they lose in the playoffs. So I'm out on all things Philadelphia. Screw Phillies, screw Houston. I do hate Houston Astros more than I hate the Philadelphia Phillies.
I think say that. The good news about that is I think everybody in the world everybody outside of Houston is rooting for the Rangers, which yes, I will take it.
Yep.
Cody, I'm with you. I never liked the Phillies. I never liked Utley, Hamels, Howard, Shane Victorino. Didn't even like him. Any of those guys for whatever reason. I did like Jimmy Rollins for a little bit.
Yeah, because he was cool.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Yeah, he was cool.
The other guys were douchebags.
But honestly, I don't know. I always thought Jimmy was a little overrated. Here's my question, coming back to you, like I said before, my pastor is from Houston, but still, after all the cheating scandals, still remains an Astros fan. As a man of God, should he be able to root on for a team that clearly cheats and breaks the rules and sins against the game of baseball?
I don't think he should be allowed to.
No.
Absolutely. I think he needs to disavow the Houston Astros and become a Rangers fan.
I tend to agree.
Honestly, why would you believe anything he has to say? Is he a cheater?
I mean, if you're supporting it,
you can't trust anybody. It doesn't matter if he's a pastor or not.
Yeah.
You can't trust them. There's a thing about those who win though, and like they still have their championship, right? Still in the record books, like even after the fact that they got penalized, right?
Yeah,
What's your point?
Like it's in the books. The team goes down in history with a W. It's not
Asterisk.
it's not something favorable, but there's like something about like leaders that still like I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going with
It's
this
like
either. That was
it's like
terrible.
you write history and history's there. So like the cheating scandal is gonna like somewhat be disappear. Same thing with like steroids and
No.
That's not true.
It'll never
No,
disappear.
baseball in
It-
particular, like
Yes.
it has the longest memory for cheaters. We still talk about the we still talk about the Black Sox from like
It's like
the
1908.
yeah, like the turn of the century. And Pete Rose is never going in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's all
Barry
those-
Bonds never
yeah.
going to go in. Roger
I mean-
Clemens never going. All the steroid guys
Yeah.
are not going in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, the best players, arguably the best like position player and in the conversation for best pitcher of all time are not going to be in the Hall of Fame because they're cheaters. Like that's just baseball has a long, long memory.
They
about
like to
that.
hold grudges.
Yes,
but they still have that trophy.
they still have
For
their
the
money.
team.
They
still
still have
have
their
the
money.
money.
Still have the money.
Yeah.
Still have the money.
I'll
And
give-
none of the respect. And what's more important, Jay?
Oh, dude, people sell their respect easily.
Okay, so Jay, money over respect.
I'm not-
Jay.
Not for this guy, not for this, but
Speaking of respect,
RESPCT. Find out what it means to me.
did the Cowboys gain any back with their Monday night win?
They did not. The Chargers chargered that game away. I think that was a Chargers loss. That was not a Cowboys win.
No.
I think Dak looked okay. I mean,
the offense in general looked okay. I mean,
that's is that what we're shooting for, you know?
yeah, I mean, but again, the defense now looked okay. They let them put up 17 points. The first drive,
That's good.
I know well, I don't know. Well, then it does come down to the offense. Then I still think that our defense is better than what it appeared this week. And then our offense just still has the same kind of struggles. It's nothing impressive. Our run game is I think it's okay. I think Pollard's fine back there. I think he's a fine back. I don't think he's what we expected out of him, giving him a contract and everything. And same thing with obviously Dak. But
I don't know. I don't know if Tony Pollard is getting the holes because if you watch the game, if you watch every run, it's like I don't know if there's a couple things I think I play with him. So he feels rushed, and so he's not being patient and picking his holes. And so you see him; he's a full head of steam right away, and he's hitting in somebody. So that's either a result of him not being patient, or it's being rushed because he knows that holes aren't opening up, and so he's just got to find the fastest thing he can get through. And I don't know. I think that both of those could probably be true. The other thing about our offense, our passing game in particular, looked much better when Dak got out of the pocket, and like we kind of had to play backyard football a lot.
Mhm.
We accused Kyler Murray of that. But like that big play to Tony Pollard, that was a scramble. I don't have anybody to throw to. Oh, Tony, you just kind of like floated out there. I'm going to give it to you. You have a 60-yard run after the catch and almost score a touchdown. That's how most of our good stuff was working.
Mhm.
And so maybe that's something that we need to look at, getting Dak on the roll, getting him on the move more often. He looked good. I mean, he's not fast. I mean, that touchdown that he scored on the quarterback keeper honestly was like if anybody had been in the vicinity of him, like he would have been tackled. It looked like me trying to run it in there.
it
But-
surprised everybody, by the way. Like we haven't seen him go for a run like that. I think his beginning of his career.
I think
honestly.
he's semi quick QB draw straight up the middle guy.
yeah.
If you move him outside the tackles,
Well, I don't think he's going to shimmy and shake his way.
no,
through,
but he's big and he's fast enough.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like he's not fast. I feel like he was kind of fast his first few years.
yeah.
I'm not saying he's fast, but I'm saying he's
Yeah.
fast enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
But I do think we need to get him on the roll more. I think that clearly our offensive line is not what it once was, and getting him on the roll, getting him him moving away from the weak side and getting him guys rolling out and kind of flaring out for I still think that our offense is poorly ran. Our wide receiver routes are just atrocious, but we'll take a win. We'll take a win.
So Kellen Moore was on the other side.
Yeah.
Are you okay with him being over there? I honestly forgot that he was the Chargers
Yeah. me too.
offense coordinator until they started talking about, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
There was some buildup for him in this competition this week, and I totally forgot about it throughout the week.
He hasn't done anything.
I mean,
Herbert is the exact same guy he has been.
Yeah.
So.
It's just more Keenan Allen.
I think. I mean, I've said this before. I think Justin Herbert has always been giving his flowers a little too early. So I think that could be part of it. I do think our offense was better last year than it is this year. What is that? I don't know what that.
Yeah.
So is Kellen Moore the reason that? I mean, to me, the wide receiver routes, the lack of holes, the lack of creativity on our offense is kind of like indicative of needing somebody other than Mike McCarthy back there. But I mean, Kellen Moore is not awesome with the Chargers, so I
don't miss and don't care.
Don't miss and don't care. But I would take him back if we need it, if he came back. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't, yeah.
Like I'm not going to I'm not going to drunk dial him at the end of the night saying, "Oh, I wish you were back. I miss you so much." But if he like hit me up, if he was the one drunk dialing me, I'd probably be like, "Yeah, come over."
Gotcha, yeah.
The door will be unlocked.
I didn't dispute that. Maybe he'll add a little bit extra creativity. Maybe he's learned a few new tricks.
Yeah,
since he's been out and since they sent him out.
It's Rumspringa.
Cody, I think you made a good point though. Our aging offensive line has it doesn't give the gaps that Zeke had early in his career anymore. So Pollard is probably maybe not as patient. He's still an explosive runner, but we're just not seeing the chunks that we expect out of what we think is still a great offensive line. And then I think Dak just doesn't have the time as well. So you say do more rollouts. I mean, if it schemes the defensive line and baits them, I like it. But I mean, you can't do it every third play or something. Like you gotta have that protection.
I mean, what's the best call of the game was the run QB keeper option. And you could tell he almost lost the ball because it was an option. He had the option to give it to the running back, and Dak saw the defensive pull in, chase the running back, and so he kept it. That's stuff that just hasn't been there this season, and it hasn't been effective. Like we need to find something to make it effective. But even outside of, Tyron Smith is probably like past his prime and stuff. I just don't think that we're as good anymore on the offensive line as we once thought these guys were, whether that's due to injury, age. We haven't really invested draft picks in it lately. We've gone more into the defensive side or CeeDee Lamb was a high pick, stuff like that, which is fine. But just know that you're never going to have a perfect football team, and that's where we're struggling right now. So
I want to push back just slightly. We have two guys that are 32. Everybody else is 22, 23, and 26. It's not an aging offensive line. I think one guy is aging.
Injury or age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Biotis Smith, Tyron Smith, and Zach Martin did miss a game and have been banged up. So I think that may be more of that issue than age.
Well, we just had them all starting, right? Last week.
Yeah, last week.
And they bumped up that age bracket quite a bit, right?
What do you mean?
How old are they?
That's what he just
30,
said.
They're 30.
Two of them are 32.
Tyron and Zach Martin are 32.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because
they're aging, like, and they're getting slower and maybe not as strong or whatever. But
you don't think Zach Martin is as good?
As good as when Zeke first started. That's what I'm saying. Because there were some gaps for Zeke. Really, just like 5-yard holes.
Also, Travis Frederick being in there too. He was a beast at center.
Yeah. So I mean, these guys starting to age out, and
They did have to
not-
make,
they're
they had to
like-
make massive holes when Zeke,
Yeah.
that was part of the problem too.
Okay,
I mean-
okay.
I mean, if Dak is losing a second every pass play, a half second, that's pretty big.
Have you
Okay.
tried to park a 18
No,
in a
not doing
compact
this,
parking
Cody.
spot?
We're not doing this. All right, well, let's move on from the Cowboys. That was just. We just had to talk about it because they're the Cowboys. Did they fall into anybody's category for anything?
No.
No,
No.
back to mediocrity category.
Did you have a best win of the week, Jay?
There was a lot of upsets this week.
Big upset
so,
week. The week of upsets is what some people are calling it.
The week of
The week of
upset.
upsets.
Really just two.
Those people, man, I can't think of anything. I mean, Vikings got to win. I wouldn't say it's the win of the week. Who else we got?
Jay, just
You guys go.
You're done, Jay. Cody.
It's gotta be the Cleveland Browns over the San Francisco 49ers. It's big because they did it without Deshaun Watson.
Mhm.
They had PJ Walker. They are Chubless as well. But their defense is legit. Now, I mean, it was raining. Maybe there's Brock Purdy's got small hands or something. But who is it?
Mhm.
Joey B who struggles in the rain. So
Joey
maybe
has
maybe
small hands, yeah.
maybe Brock's got some small hands as well because he looked terrible. But Browns important win, keeping pace in the division, and it's a win that you don't expect to get.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's the most important and best win of this week. Also, I don't think it tells me much about the 49ers. If they get Debo back healthy, if they get Christian McCaffrey back healthy, and assume that they don't play most of their games in bad weather, I think that they'll be just fine. But it was an important win for the Browns.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, they did it without Chubb, and like you said, with PJ Walker, it was pretty impressive that the defense did that. Kept San Francisco to 17. I'm embarrassed as a Cowboys fan.
Don't be embarrassed. This was a come down for them.
No,
I think
Yeah.
this was a come down for them.
this is a
Also,
class.
this was an injury game. Greenlaw, their linebacker, didn't play also. And then Debo got hurt, McCaffrey got hurt, and then another guy get hurt, didn't they?
Yeah, their offensive lineman.
Oh, Trent Williams
yeah,
got
Trent
hurt.
Williams.
That's who the other guy was.
And
yeah, so
but I mean,
they're
this
just trying to stay healthy at this point, right?
it was a classic. Like they got smoke blown up their butt all week, because of how they beat down the Cowboys, and it's natural for those to come down off of those games. So, like I said, I don't think it tells me too much about 49ers. I still feel very confident that they will be the best team in the NFC. But if the Browns are going to keep pace, and they seem like they're going to hang around,
Yeah.
like they could end up winning the AFC North, or at least snagging one of the playoff spots. So important win for them.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark? That's one of the week.
Well, the best one of the week has got to be the New York Jets. Not the Planes. They are back to being the Jets. They beat the Eagles. I called it. Zach Wilson, second coming of, I'm saying, Dan Marino, I think now. That's going to be my comp for him.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Eagles got exposed. They haven't been good all year. I think on offense is kind of what Jay was saying last week. It is what it is, and they lost, and I'm very happy.
Yeah,
Congrats to the Jets.
I mean, the Wilson to Wilson
Oh.
duo was pretty sweet this week. And Garrett Wilson came down with a great ball, a pretty critical ball, I feel like, too. The Jets just stayed in. They were kicking field goals just to keep them in the game. I think it came down to 14-9 at some point, and then ended up somehow coming out with a touchdown. I can't quite remember, but yeah, the Eagles, they don't look elite, and I've been trying to say that all year. They kind of been walking through again the beginning of the season. I'm not scared of their offense. Defense has gotten a lot weaker, and the Jets exposed their defense. So here we are.
I mean, if you lose a turnover battle 4-0, like you're not going to win that game. And Jalen,
3 picks for Hurts.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Jalen, two of the picks were not that bad. That third pick was one of the worst throws I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
There's another one. I don't take too much away from the game itself. I still think the Eagles will be pretty good, and the Jets are 3-3. We might have to keep them around.
Shocking.
Talk about it.
Talking about it, yeah.
That's so shocking. I need I need Wilson's credit in the QB games. Okay, just because Aaron Rodgers goes
No,
down, I
That's
need.
not how that works.
Look,
No.
this is. I'm stuck with Rodgers and a big goose egg on the board. Oh no, actually, I got that one win because he did start, so I get that win.
You did get
Right,
that
you
win.
did
You
get
got
that.
one win.
It's counted.
Yeah.
By the way, for people who didn't listen to the episode 2 months ago, we did do a quarterback draft where we only count wins, and Jay picked Aaron Rodgers, who
Of course.
obviously is not playing. We were not allowed injury replacements. And also Anthony Richardson is now out for the year for the Colts.
Yeah.
Colts quarterback, the Indianapolis Colts quarterback, Anthony Richardson is no longer playing this season.
The new Colts quarterback is now Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew is now the
Minshew
quarterback
mania.
for the Colts.
But
He used to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now he's on the Indianapolis Colts.
that is true. And he also played for the Eagles, who did lose this game. I was just gonna say, I do think that Jets are, huh?
He played for the Eagles?
Yeah,
Minshew?
Yeah.
Oh. So he's only played for animals.
Yes, exactly. He's
Interesting.
an animal. He played for the Eagles first, and then he went to the Jags,
Is that a fact?
right? Or maybe it was the Jags and then the Eagles. He backed up Carson Wentz when no, I promise you, look up Gardner Minshew.
I'm doing it.
I do not follow Gardner Minshew's.
He definitely
career.
played for the
You're
Eagles
probably right, but
because he played
not-
against Cooper Rush or somebody.
Oh, what a game that must have been.
Yeah. Anyway, so I did want to say while you look that up, I think the Eagles are still going to be around. Jets hanging around 3-3. AFC East, AFC North are kind of pretty spicy looking divisions right now. There's some good teams in there, and that's kind of what we predicted at the beginning of the season, and it's holding true. Honestly, what my ultimate point was, I think we tried to convince ourselves that a team other than the Chiefs was going to be the best team in the NFL, and I think the Chiefs are just probably the best team in the NFL until further notice.
Until further notice, they're hanging on by a thread. I think the Niners are coming for them.
They got Patrick Mahomes, and that's all.
And Kelsey still keeps playing through that ankle injury. So as long as those two are on the field, yes. The Pacheco in the run game is really looking good. I think they will hang on to that for the time being.
To tie up Gardner Minshew, he was drafted and played 2 years for the Jaguars,
Okay.
the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then he went to the Philadelphia Eagles for 2 years to back up Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Now he's on the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy.
He's going from alpha predator to in the air, not alpha predator, to now he's a little baby horse. What's next?
Wait, you don't think an eagle is an alpha predator?
In the air, but if you have a jaguar and an eagle in a room together, who are you gonna pick?
I don't know. The eagle. I don't know.
I'm going.
Depends how big's the room.
How big is the eagle?
10 feet by 10 feet and 5 feet high.
Okay, I'll take the jaguar.
Okay. I mean, you can fly. That's literally the only thing you can do.
Right, that's my point. So if like we're
You just fly away. He's not gonna win the fight.
Yeah.
If the room is 20 feet high, then he's just gonna sit there up there and just be like, "What's up, man?"
And then the jaguar's gonna fall asleep, and then he's gonna come down and snatch his eyeball.
And then the jaguar will wake up, get his giant paw, and just bring him down and kill him, and he wins.
All right.
That's
I'm
that.
glad we settled that.
And that's animal fight discussions that we will continue to do throughout the year. So everybody just keep tuning in for those.
That's what we do for the NCAA
Yeah.
March Madness.
Also,
brackets, okay.
yep, that is actually Jay and I did do that. So that to go back to the Chiefs, I don't know how we got onto that. I was talking about or I was looking at the Gardner Minshew thing. So it's always good to stay on topic here. Kansas City Chiefs, their quarterback, Chiefs quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, they're always going to be the best team in the league until further notice, in my opinion. However, I think you mentioned this before a lot, Cody. They play with their food a lot.
They do.
Yes.
And is Andy Reid like, I don't know what they do at practice. I think he makes practice fun because he thinks Mahomes will get bored and Kelsey will get bored. Why can't, like, if they just lined up and ran a standard offense without the frills, I mean, would they beat teams by 30 every game?
I think a better question is: has Andy Reid ever played with food in his life, or is it
No,
just
he
gone
goes-
straight from the plate to?
I think he rips it apart.
No, the Chiefs are they're after that first couple. I mean, they still haven't looked amazing, but they just know how to win at this point. And as long as Mahomes has Kelsey, I don't see them losing. Now, if Kelsey gets hurt or if Mahomes gets hurt, then the Chiefs are not as good. But I think that they are more dependent on those two players alone than any team is dependent on just two players. Like that is an extreme dependency that they have on those two guys.
Yeah, it's a winning quarterback, it's a tight end duo, winning coach. And they just come down with the win. They figure out some strategy if they're ever behind, if they ever need this, they've got this much time. They strategize it and they just come out to be winners. That's just who they are. And some teams are just losers. That's played out as well. And so like the Giants, okay, the Giants are just bunch of losers, guys. Okay,
They are a bunch of losers.
they just
so.
know how to lose. And that's just who they are. And the Chiefs, they're just winners.
I'll say, I know we don't
simplify it.
we don't have this category, but well, first of all, I just got to get this joke in. Sorry, Travis Kelce scoring sixes on and off the field.
I don't get Taylor Swift.
She's a 6, right? She's not that hot.
She's an 8.
She's above
You think she's
6.
an 8?
Yeah, she's a solid 8.
Solid 8.
Solid 8. She can drop down to a 6 given her hair, any given hairstyle, but I think she's a solid 8, like done up correctly.
You think she like wakes up as a 6 or is a 6?
I think she's a 4 and then becomes a 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
That
We
is.
just got a lot of haters.
Yeah,
on this
honestly, the
podcast.
Swifties are going to come after you.
We're done with that statement.
Come on, you Swifties.
I got a worst loss of the week. Are you ready? Because it's going to bring you a lot of pain, Mark, because
Me?
I, once again, am the football / genius / detective / smartest human in the whole world. Mark Howell, do you care to tell us what your lock of the week was?
Well, Cody, thank you for asking. My lock of the week was a lock unlike any lock before. Let me tell you why. I'm going to stare straight at the camera for YouTube. Desmond Ritter has never lost at home since he was a junior in high school. What was I supposed to do? I literally had to choose him. I locked him. I am Jay Space Brian.
Yeah.
I curse Desmond Ritter because they then lost to the Washington Commanders. And if you want to take credit,
I do.
for choosing a Commanders upset over the Falcons.
I do.
And just
I do.
doing a victory lap with your hand up in the air
Honestly,
at the number 1. If you want to do that, congratulations.
If you could serenade me a little bit, honestly, I would
I'm not
I would
gonna
appreciate
serenade
that.
shit.
I just wanted to point out that Mark's lock of the week, the team he guaranteed would win, was also I took the opposite as my upset. I picked the Commanders to beat the Atlanta Falcons. Mark, you were supposed to have something prepared for the podcast as punishment. And I was wondering if that is the time and if you're ready. Mark has a punishment for losing his lock of the week. For those of you listening at home, we've posted on our Instagram. Jay has, I don't know if he's gotten one single lock the whole year, but
I got this week.
Oh, congratulations, Jay. So me and Mark are currently, we were tied. We both had lost 1 apiece. We've done punishments in the past. The punishment for Mark this week was the etymology of the name Howell, as Mark and Sam, the Commanders quarterback, Washington Commanders quarterback, Sam Howell, shares the same last name as Mark. So I just want to know, as your punishment, Mark, tell me about the name Howell.
Well, Howell is a surname and was given, and given name was originating from Wales. So it's a Welsh name.
Welsh.
I did not know that. I didn't know that I had Welsh blood in me.
There you go.
At all. As a surname is not particularly common of those with Welsh ancestry, which is probably why I didn't know. And it is also angelicized form of Welsh name Highwell, which is Hywel. It originates from a dynasty of kings in Wales and Brittany in the 9th and 10th centuries, and most notably King Hywel Dda, Howell the Good.
How old the dada?
The name is DDA. How do you say Dda?
Yeah. Yeah.
Howell.
And 3 Welsh royal houses from that time onwards. The royal house of Tudor was also descended from them. Today, nearly 200,000 people bear this surname. Basically, cousin Sam and I, are royal Welsh people, and that's all I have to say.
Long lost cousin.
You dared to go against your blood. You dared to go against royal Welsh royalty. Royal Welsh royalty. Say that 3 times.
Royal Welsh royalty. Royal Welsh royalty.
That one's hard.
I'll just drink.
Listen, this game, like, first of all, nobody gave a crap about this game. It was like a 1.5 point spread. Like, it wasn't like Cody picked the Jets to beat the Eagles. Like some people. Now, did I make that my official upset? No, but there is video evidence. If you follow the Instagram, I said that. Anyways, Sam Howell did not have a good game, by the way. He was 14 of 23 for 121 yards, but they got the W, and that's all that matters. I understand.
That's all that matters.
Desmond Ritter is not the guy. I have a Falcons idea, and I know we don't talk about the Falcons a lot, so anybody from Atlanta listening to this,
you're welcome.
Turn it up.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. This may be the only time we talk about you guys all year, unless what I say actually happens. So, are y'all ready? Should the Atlanta Falcons trade for Kirk Cousins?
That's a good hypothetical, and honestly, I like that for the Falcons because I think this is the year that they should go for it. I don't think anybody in the NFC South is good. We're going to get to a game later with the Bucks and Lions, but the Bucks clearly are not very good. They've had a cake schedule. However, the reporting that I've heard or that I've seen is that Kirk Cousins has got a no trade clause and he's not going to waive it. So he's going to stay in Minnesota and stay with the losers. So
yep,
that would be cool. It'd be nice. I think a more viable target for, I mean, honestly, at this point, like, wouldn't you just like call Carson Wentz? Like, don't you think he's better than Desmond Ritter at this point? Desmond Ritter is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. Like, coming into the season, I think Desmond Ritter is still the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Bryce Young, ring a bell?
Yeah.
He's found Thielen. He has found Thielen, which has saved his starting career. So
Thielen myself.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think? Come on, Mark.
I don't think he's the worst starting quarterback.
Is he second worst?
He may be the second worst. He's not going to win you a game. And that's the biggest thing about him. There's a lot of quarterbacks that can at least win you a game every now and then. Yeah. Kirk Cousins being one of them. He's won a lot of games in the NFL. He's also lost a lot of games in the NFL, which is we're seeing kind of the. By the way, Kirk Cousins on Minnesota Vikings. For those of you who didn't know, Minnesota Vikings.
Kirk Cousins.
I am proposing that they trade him to the Atlanta Falcons to trade the Atlanta Falcons quarterback Desmond Ritter away. Anyways, just wanted to. For people that don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Man, Kirk Cousins throwing to Kyle Pitts and Drake London. I'm intrigued.
Bijan Robinson is a running back?
Yeah, Bijan in the back, yeah.
We're talking about actual, not these backups that are now playing. Is that correct, Cody?
Yeah.
Man, he might be the worst.
Oh, no.
I'm looking at the list of teams right now, and I wouldn't take him over basically anybody. Like, if you put him on, I mean... I'm not counting Arizona because technically they're starting to back up quarterback.
I would take Josh Dobbs over.
Should Jones some to do work, yeah.
Should the Cardinals trade Josh Dobbs
to the Cardinals?
Still high. He's not going to start next year. Either they're going to have Caleb Williams or Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, get something out of him. Absolutely.
This actually brings me to a larger point. Like we kind of abandoned our typical show structure, and I apologize for
that. It's over.
That's what happens when we're in person.
We'll talk it every now. We'll drop it in. This is my worst loss.
Yeah, but okay, here's this. For missing the mark, I want to talk about drafting quarterbacks in NFL. Look at how bad of these matchups are for quarterbacks in the NFL. If we look forward to next week, the Sunday afternoon games are just a poo-poo platter of quarterbacks playing each other. Like it's almost like none of these games are exciting because it's like not Daniel Jones. It's like who's the backup for Daniel Jones? It's
It's Tyrod Taylor now.
yeah, Tyrod. It's like Tyrod Taylor versus like Nathan Peterman. Like not really, but it's that level of excitement for these quarterbacks. It's bad, and I would say there's only as much as I've debated bringing this up on a podcast now because I've said before I'm out on Dak. I'm still out on Dak, but we better have a ready replacement for him if we're going to move on from him because it gets real dark real quickly if you move on from somebody who's at least competent. And I don't know what's going on with drafting. I don't know what's going on with quarterback development, what's happening for those, but it's been bad. And the NFL's got a serious problem if there's going to be a passing league and more than 2/3 of the passers are terrible. Like that's just what it's come down to.
I'm blaming it on defense development, just getting a lot faster. Defensive ends, linebackers, absolutely. Yes, I'm blaming it on the speed in which they get to the quarterback.
Absolutely not. This is what I'm going to blame it on. Honestly,
there's more to it for sure.
Offense is becoming easier and easier to play in the NFL. I don't think the defense has anything to do with it, Jay. Apologies in advance. I think there's multiple factors for quarterbacks. One, I think what you play in college is generally shotgun formation, spread offense, pass happy. I think the coaches, if they try to plug a quarterback into their scheme instead of building a scheme around the quarterback, not to mention any names, but there is a guy in Chicago for the Bears who they are not playing to that man's strengths. I think we can all agree with that. His strength is running the ball, and they do not.
Okay.
They do not. They do not create very many QB design runs anymore for him.
I mean, a Dak Prescott scenario could happen in that team, where the starter gets hurt and the backup goes off.
Who's their backup quarterback?
I don't know who this guy is, but Baggert.
Yeah, it's like Caleb
that.
Baggert. Didn't know who he was until he came out of the game.
But people, if I was a Chicago fan, which I am, I would be excited to see something, anything, any form of success.
Regardless, we're not talking about the Bears. We've talked about the Bears enough on this podcast.
Okay.
Third thing is it's the hardest position to play in all of sports. I think we can all agree with that. It's also the most mental taxing game. Yes, it is, Cody.
It's not the hardest position.
It's the hardest position in sports to play and to be successful.
It's up there.
And
hitting a baseball is way harder than completing a pass in football.
We doing this? Are we doing this?
Is that not wrong? Like
you get
way harder to be hit a baseball.
Okay.
You could have a career batting 150 though.
No, you cannot.
Okay. It is the most important single position in all of sports.
Okay, I will give you that.
Therefore, mentally, it could be the hardest sport to get around to play. Position to play.
I will concede that it is the most important.
So these guys, and especially nowadays when it's media, it's people forget Peyton Manning, Troy Aikman had horrendous rookie years. Multiple Super Bowl winners, guys. Multiple Super Bowl winners. And so I think now, and I do this all the time, it's my favorite thing to do actually. It's just bury guys immediately.
Yep.
And I think all the attention, all of the negativity gets thrown on these guys, and they just don't know how to handle it because what they do all day is just look on their phones and be like, you suck. And I'm like, man, this is rough. Why do people hate me so much? And I think the generation is soft.
So what you're saying is Zach Wilson is going to be a very good quarterback.
Oh my God. He has been playing better since Donna Kelsey watched him play.
That's true. Maybe
it's an odd turning point. Yeah.
We've got a thing for moms. That's all I'm saying.
Wonder if T-Swift's mom was there and they just didn't
interesting.
And maybe it wasn't Donna, but it was T-Swift's mom.
Yeah.
I think her mom looks like Donna Kelsey, so that would be maybe what he likes.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyways, Cody, I agree with your point. Jay, strongly disagree with the defense
Yeah.
being better. I think it's a bad take. I think you missed the mark.
I,
That's my missing the mark for the week.
I think Jay misses the mark at least once a week, right?
yeah.
He just there's
It's hard to predict all this, guys. I mean, seriously.
It's hard to predict where the
Look,
conversation's
I'm
gonna
gonna
go.
be, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be real. I'm not gonna say I'm 100% or
I like the
top
lukewarm
notch.
it's just everything's lukewarm. It's never hot, never just you take the easy way. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. You don't want the Swifties coming after you. You don't want you want to be team defense. I get it. You play defense, you were all-American middle linebacker. I get it.
Hey,
It's
if
fine.
you're in with the Swifties, like the world is yours.
That's true, actually. You can't really do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So, I just want to let's just talk real quick. We're just gonna go Cody, J, me. Out of all the teams in the NFL right now, just who has the shittiest 3-year outlook?
The worst next 3 years.
Like who set up, whether it's draft picks, contracts, you got one, we kind of talked.
It's gotta be the Panthers, right?
They don't have a first round pick.
No.
The Bears are maybe have set up the best.
Yeah.
They could have a
in
one.
the-
They have 2 top 5. We'll say, right? I think it's safe to say
Yeah.
2 top 5 picks.
They've got a pocket full of picks. And
I got a pocket full of picks. I got a pocket full of picks.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Giants, and the Patriots were very
That's
close
good.
seconds.
Nice. Yeah.
But
okay, so you go
but
Giants.
I'm going Giants because that O line just doesn't give anything a chance, and even when Mac Jones has a chance, it's brutal.
Daniel Jones,
Daniel,
Daniel
sorry,
Jones,
I see
yeah.
the Joneses.
Also,
I get my
Yeah.
I get my
For the
names
Patriots.
mixed up. And
Daniel Jones is the Giants. Mac Jones plays for the New England
see,
Patriots.
I even had both teams in my head. But yes, Daniel Jones with the Giants. I don't see that offense really taking off anytime soon.
So let's just say
So
for the sake of we'll give Jay 2. So he has the Giants
And
and the
Pats.
New England Patriots.
If I was going to take 2, I would also say Giants because they've already paid Daniel Jones, and that makes it tough to maneuver to get better. And not only that, but reworking your offensive line is not a 1-year type thing. Usually it's a 2 or 3 year to bring in enough talent. So do like the Giants pick, Jay.
Yeah.
thank you.
Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you.
I think so. Taking out those teams, I do agree. I think mine still might be the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
They also
Obvious choice.
don't really have anybody. They have injuries galore. They always seem to be hurt. Wilson, I think he has I looked at his contract. He has some sort of out, and I don't know if it's a team out or an opt out from him, which why the hell would he ever opt out of any contract?
Yeah.
After 2026.
Collect.
Okay.
So that's a long way away. And they're paying him on average about 40 million. Even if they cut him, it's gonna be like a 40 mil cap hit.
Yeah.
So they have to start all over him. Look, John Elway doesn't know how to do anything other than trade for Peyton Manning. Honestly, what else has he done?
Yeah.
He's done nothing else. He drafted Paxton Lynch. You guys remember that guy?
Yeah.
I do.
He also drafted Brock Osweiler.
Remember him? Brock the jock. He actually had
That's not his. Nobody called him that.
he had half a season where he looked pretty good for the Texans, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, Texans paid him a boatload of money,
Yeah.
half a season, and I think the next year he was announcing college games from.
It was a quick.
I was like, that's Brock Osweiler. I did not know he was even out of the NFL. He got paid. He got a 60 mil.
He moved quick. I mean, just to have something set up for next season.
I do like the Broncos take. I think that those are the 4 teams that are in the running, right? The Panthers don't have a first round pick next year, and they haven't won a game yet this year. So there's very likely that they will give a top 2 or 3 pick to the Chicago Bears. The Patriots, it's not good, but they're 1 quarterback away. Let's say the Patriots go 1-16, they get number 1 pick, and they got Caleb Williams. I think the Patriots could be good soon.
That could turn, yeah.
If the Giants are going to be too competent to get a top 5 draft pick, but they're also not going to be good enough to do anything, and so I think they are stuck in a running treadmill of mediocrity. and then the Broncos, man. Sorry, Kevin. Pour one out.
I-
I tried to bring the faith and bring the hope for you this year, and it was sorely misplaced.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I didn't pick the Broncos is because I just think they have a couple more pieces than the Giants, and that's it. But that contract that Wilson has, yeah, eat them up.
I think once you pay a quarterback, and they're not the guy, then it gets dark real quick.
I mean, how many teams did that in the past 3 years too? But the thing is, that's what's going to happen because the Cowboys, I think, look, they're going to do it. They're going to extend that.
They have to.
Jerry is scared shitless of starting over because he did go. They found Romo as an undrafted free agent. That was luck.
Yeah.
He played for
5 years,
8
6?
years.
Was it?
I think it was 8 total.
Okay. He didn't play till his 3rd year though, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about like his
his
he was a
run?
starting quarterback for about 8 years.
Okay.
Actually, maybe 6 years. Regardless, he got hurt. He had a lot of injury because they couldn't build anything around him, and he was great for what he had to work with and everything. Dak, we lucked into him with the 4th round pick. He was like 4th on the depth charts. And I think one, it shows how hard it is to find a good quarterback. And 2, it also shows that you got to be really fucking lucky because the 49ers are looking at that right now. They drafted quarterback number 2 in Trey Lance. And then now they have Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft, Brock Purdy. You just got to get lucky.
Yep.
Is essentially what it is. And then you pray they don't ask for too much money. And you pray that they can move the team forward.
Yeah.
We saw with Drew Brees with the Saints, could not do it. We saw it with Russell Wilson. What are you looking at?
I'm looking.
Oh my gosh, it's 10-0. The Phillies are winning 10-0.
Sorry. I did a quick check-in and I didn't mean to extract Mark.
Like, did I see that right?
See it on his face. Is that why you're
Well,
looking?
he looked for a little bit. I was like, oh, what's going on? So, now it's Andy Sandberg and Eli Manning on the commercial for Corona, which is a weird.
Hey, you don't mention another beer on this podcast.
I'll leave that out. So
yeah, we need to edit this now.
How long have we been recording? By the way, I have no idea what time we started.
I don't know, and I don't care. Here's
I think we're hitting an hour.
You talked about lucky, right? A team that is going to be lucky because of their schedule coming up, and also many of our loyal listeners are Raiders fans. So I think that we have to talk just quickly about the Raiders getting a win. They beat, I believe it was the Cardinals, right? That they
just beat the Patriots.
Yeah, they beat the Patriots. Okay, so then they have coming up. They have a paper tissue soft lineup or schedule. We're going to be looking at the Raiders number 2 in the AFC West and potentially at 6-2, 6-3 very quickly. And I just think that we gotta at least throw that out there. It stinks that Jimmy G hurt his back this week, and with Aiden O'Connell, that's the guy's name, right? Coming in,
Super Troopers, skinny Super Troopers guy.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you who are Raiders fans, and you think, oh, where have I seen my backup quarterback before? Just look up Super Troopers. He's one of the cast members. He's a dead ringer for that guy.
But skinnier
version, but he looks exactly like that guy. It's great. I just think that it's funny how this football season is working in the NFL, and I'm not sure if I know if anybody's good anymore. Like it's very hard.
After this week, it's very hard. It's like you see pieces in there, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of how the season typically pan. I feel like it's kind of early for it to happen.
Injuries are adding up, so let's do something right here to to kind of finish it off here. The last bit of it. Top 4 teams in each conference right now.
Okay, I'm ready. Are you, Jay?
Am I supposed to name them?
Yeah, let's hear.
Let's hear Jay's first. Let's hear Jay's first.
Like Lions.
Okay.
Like Lions or the Lions?
Well, they're like the Lions of the Jaguars.
Okay.
Did not get that joke at all.
Ooh, way over.
That was all right. So Jay, Lions.
Also the Panthers. They could have
Yeah,
been talking
could've
about
been
the
the
Panthers. So like Lions,
Lions.
Lions,
Lions,
okay,
okay.
with a period, nothing in front of it.
Right.
Okay.
Cowboys, 49ers. This is always the hard one. I'm gonna go Saints.
Wow.
Over.
Wow. Okay,
Wait,
so not the Eagles.
Not the Eagles.
I'm not going with the Eagles. I'm still sticking with the Cowboys. I feel like.
Well, we're talking about not division winners, just top 4 teams in each conference.
Oh, sorry, boys.
So I think you had the
The
right.
Saints was interesting.
That was. I don't think
They
that they're
could-
going to win.
I think the Bucks are going to win that division. Tampa Bay Bucks.
I don't have faith in Baker.
I don't have faith in any team.
I don't have faith in the Saints
They should
either.
just
But
decide.
All right, so Jay, you have the line. You're sticking with the Lions, the Cowboys, the Niners. Who's your fourth team then? Who's your top 4?
I don't
This is a
got 'em.
podcast.
I don't got them. I don't
Don't-
have.
I can
I'll go with
here.
Eagles then. I'll go
Is
with
it the
Eagles.
Saints? Like you?
I'll go with
stick
Eagles. I'll go with the
Saints.
Eagles.
Okay.
No, I mean if the Eagles played the Saints, I'd go with the Eagles.
I think NFC is pretty clearly the teams have separated themselves. Niners, Eagles, Cowboys, and Lions are the 4 teams that have separated themselves there. I mean, even though we can quibble all we want about the Cowboys, they're still 4-2, and they still look like the team, like nobody else is like throwing them from that 4th spot, I would say.
I'm kicking them out of the 4th spot. I'm actually throwing the Seahawks in there. I
Really?
think they're better than the Cowboys. I think if the Cowboys and the Seahawks played today, the Cowboys would lose.
I don't.
I'm
Did
disagreeing.
you see this past week's game for the Eagles or the Seahawks? They put up 13 points. They lost to a Joe Burrow's led like bad. The Bengals.
I'm glad you're saying it right.
They put up 17 points against the Seahawks and they still won because Geno Smith was terrible. So I don't agree with you there. But
That's
okay,
great. That's why we have a podcast. Because we don't always agree.
that's true.
So
All right,
AFC.
top 4 AFC. I'll list them off. It's pretty. I think this is pretty simple too. Although you're going to disagree with me on one of them for sure. Miami, Bills, Chiefs, Ravens.
I knew you were gonna say Ravens.
Yeah.
Miami, Bills, Chiefs, Ravens. Okay.
That's the 4 teams. I think it's. I think the Ravens is the only one up for debate, and I'm a little shaky on it, but I'm sticking with them. By the way, Justin Tucker put up just a miraculous fantasy day. I think I lost because I outscored them in every single player except the kicker. My kicker put up like 0 points, and Justin Tucker put up 21 points, and I lost because of that. Because Justin Tucker just
It's always
went crazy.
brutal when
Yeah.
the kicker kicks your ass.
Yeah, exactly. But
In London, you should have known it's a soccer stadium.
you're right. I should have. Justin Tucker travels well too. He loves it. He loves being on planes. I don't know what him and Kirk Cousins. They always are talking ish on planes. So
Facts.
all right, Jay.
The Browns didn't convince you at all.
No, I still stick with. I think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense, even though they haven't been awesome, I still trust them more than I trust the Browns offense to do anything.
You know, if this was like 2 weeks ago, I would have thrown like the Colts into the conversation. Oddly,
I would have instantly laughed at you, and I'm glad that it's not 2 weeks ago.
I love Jason.
Dude, it's not the Jags anymore. I'll tell you that.
No,
The Ravens have had their issues. Let's be real. Their defense has kept them in this, but I'm gonna agree with Cody at this moment.
I will remove the Ravens and put the Bengals in there.
Yeah, I mean that was the
Yeah.
only alternative.
no, is it though? What is
If
it?
the record wise, look, I think Joe Burrow is actually, I think he's healthy. I think now he is healthy.
So why did you put up
Some-
17 points?
Hey, they get a
somehow.
they-
Cardinals are not a bad team.
They get a-
They're scrappy.
They are scrappy. The Bengals get a bye week, and then we get to see them come back healthier. I think this is going to be a turning point for the Bengals. So if we're saying like end of year results, I may switch that.
It's weird because I feel weird that I'm having to take this like anti-Bengals like take because I don't really dislike the Bengals and I think they're okay. I dislike the Ravens more, and so I think that, and I think I've had to defend Lamar Jackson on this podcast because he's been unrightfully criticized when other quarterbacks who are not nearly as good have been applauded on this podcast. So that's made me dig in my heels even harder on Lamar Jackson. Also, I still they're still my Super Bowl pick. Ravens and 49ers, but 49ers win, but Ravens to make it nice.
Who's your Super Bowl pick, Jay?
I think I had the Ravens in there too.
Yeah, but
No,
today.
For the AFC, Miami's looking great.
Two teams,
Miami
one for each conference play the Super
and
Bowl.
49ers.
Miami 49ers.
That would be a fun Super Bowl. I will say
I
that.
think
That'd be
that's-
awesome.
That'd be fun. That would be an interesting color. Like
That would be
I think
horrific.
it would be
It would be
yeah, the
Do you think the Niners would wear more gold though? Like they bring in that
They
more?
they just wear like gold jerseys.
They do
all of a
like-
sudden.
they do like-
No.
I know.
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think the
I don't know how you make it work.
I think the Dolphins would have to go all white, and the Niners had their classic, and I think that would look pretty good.
Okay.
It would
Now,
look okay.
If the Niners had their white jerseys and then the Dolphins had teal, that would look just horrendous.
Yeah, that would not look good.
horrendous.
I don't like the Niners jerseys in general. Like,
Oh.
yeah, the white when they go white with the
Oh yeah, the white.
it's
Yeah,
just-
that's a terrible look.
It's
yeah.
horrific.
The
so,
red on gold is one of the best looks in sports.
I do like that. I
It's
do.
okay. It's okay. I give it. Not in sports. I give them top 10 in
in
NFL.
football. Oh, top 10?
Yeah.
I think that uniform alone is top 5.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just like have cool like never
Who's
mind.
your top 5?
Top 5?
Top 5, just one single, like not as a whole, just regular helmet, jersey, pants combination.
Regular? Okay. Cowboys, number 1.
Obviously.
Obviously, right?
Obviously.
So then number 2 is going to be
Chargers?
no, I do like the Chargers. Okay, so we'll
With white pants, powder blue.
yeah, the white pants,
Okay.
powder blue. I'll go Chargers. The teams that I'm considering, I like the Saints, black and gold. I like the Ravens, purple and black.
Terrible.
I
love,
do like that.
yeah. I like the Vikings with their purple.
They have good purple.
The no, I don't like the
Bengals
The
all
old
white?
school Falcons had some cool uniforms. Not anymore. I don't.
If the Falcons were the Deion Sanders like they wore this past one with the red
Yeah.
helmet and just
Yeah.
normal black with red
Yeah.
or white with red outline,
That would be sick.
sweet
Yeah.
uniforms.
I think
Seahawks? That's always in the
No.
conversation. I think they've faded out.
I think the Dolphins look good in their home stadium and they look terrible everywhere else.
Yeah, they can't. They have to have home field advantage in the playoffs, or else
Yeah.
they're going to lose.
Yeah, their jerseys don't travel.
What about the Raiders? Black and silver.
No,
No?
I don't like when people are depicted. Like I don't want an actual person
Oh,
as a mascot.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, like I
The
need
Cowboys.
there's no it's a star.
Okay, so the logo.
Yeah, the logo.
okay.
Yeah.
Logo.
I
Got
want
it.
a person in my logo. I thought it's hard to make a person look cool. Like I just think
You
that
said the
with you.
Vikings, so. Oh, it's not on their helmet.
yeah, not on the
Got
helmet. Yeah.
Guys, you want me to ruin it for you? The Vikings and their helmets. The horns look like sperm. Looks like sperm, guys. I ruined it for y'all. You're gonna see nothing but
That's
little
all I'm gonna see now.
sperm in the head, the tail. It's
I-
like, you're done. I'm sorry.
I will say their helmets, I've always thought are just very dumb. I understand exactly what they are, but the fact that they don't come out, which there's 0% chance that will ever happen.
Yeah.
But they just go, I'm like, that's kind of stupid looking. And now, I mean, now I'm
agree.
just gonna see sperm with it every time.
You're gonna do it. I do like the matte purple
Yeah,
aspect of
they
it,
have
but the horns just I can't unsee it.
the Vikings redid their uniforms like I don't know 8 years ago ish, and basically what they did it perfectly. They took their classic uniform and just like slightly modernized it.
Yeah.
They didn't go really crazy like the Falcons or even the Jets, the Lions. The Lions they have great colors, but they ruined theirs.
yeah,
They're
they've
gonna need uniforms next year, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah.
Um
Now we're just talking about uniforms.
yeah, can we do one game to look forward to next week and then we can
Sure.
wrap it up?
Yeah. Which game is it?
I don't know.
I mean,
Let's,
Oh,
yeah,
here we
let's
go.
go.
Oh,
yeah,
here
let's
we
click
go.
on the board.
here we go.
Bring
All
it up.
let's bring up the schedule again. Apologies.
I think I'm hoping that there is just a showcase game, because I do feel like this week was lacking. That probably the Cowboys Chargers was the most like. Was there a fun game this week? Like,
Oh, Sunday night is probably the funnest game. Dolphins at the Eagles.
oh, that's the one. Yeah,
yes.
that's gonna
I'm
be a
looking
point of
forward to
viewing.
that
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think that's it. I think the Dolphins win.
yeah. Let's do that. Dolphins.
KC Chargers.
I like the Dolphins, Jay.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are going to have a tough time
I feel.
scoring with the Dolphins. I think
Oh yeah.
their offense has been hurt this year and has not been as good. And I think that Dolphins are going to put up points against that Eagles defense. And so, yeah, that's a great game.
Might be cold. Looks like the low's 41 in Philadelphia that night. Does that change your mind at all?
No,
No, me either.
no.
I think they're gonna win for sure.
They're rolling on all cylinders. Run game, they got two guys back there. I mean, Tyreek Hill, obviously. It's just they're killing it.
This is how every NFL Sunday should be. Just so you guys know, it's 6 noon games and 4 3 o'clock games.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yep.
Don't do these two. There's gonna be those 2 games on Sunday afternoons. I'm gonna hate that.
Any London games, those always throw me off.
It's because they have a lot of teams on bye this week too, so that kind of helps with the scheduling.
Yeah, there are 6 teams on a
Yeah.
bye right now. So actually, yeah, just well before there's one more game that I want to just get your picks on. Lions and the Ravens
Oh,
at Baltimore noon.
that's got my interest for sure.
That's a good game. You know what I'm
We
gonna
pick
say?
it? You
Lions?
are.
Good call.
He's got one right.
I'm picking like Lions.
Raw.
The like
Okay.
line.
Like Lions.
Like Lions. I think I said I like the Lions.
I think you said like Lions.
Maybe I just whispered.
I'll
it.
take the Edgar Allan pose. Give
All
me
right. I'm taking the Motor City Kitties.
Motor City.
What do you okay?
That is
So
awesome.
great.
Yeah, no more London games. They're going to Germany in a few weeks. Am I the only one? I don't give a shit about any of these international games.
No,
They're early. I never watch them.
I don't think the players
Like
do
they're-
either.
They're sometimes on, and that's it. Like we need like 1 a year. That's it. Not. I think there's 2 in Germany, so 5 total.
Have you
European
heard?
games.
Did you see the report that they were considering doing a Super Bowl
Yeah,
in
it's
London
so stupid.
at some point?
I mean,
That's do not take the Super Bowl from America.
they've got a Mexico game too, right?
Yeah, that's
They
fine.
Typically do that.
That's
same
not a
time
weird travel
zone.
thing.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a little bit.
It's
You're in
limited.
altitude. It's fine.
You're trying to bring a sport that is named after another sport to the country that they already have the sport that is named after, and I don't see how that's going to work.
Yeah.
This past Ravens Titans game in London, you just saw everyone wearing like any NFL jersey as well. And
Well,
and I was just
All the games are like.
That's because
Interesting.
that's because they have guys. Have you ever been to a sporting event like in Europe at all?
if I go to a soccer game, I'm not wearing like a team that's not there.
Well, what they don't have, like, if you went to a sporting event like for a specific, like, let's say you went to Arsenal's soccer game, right? They would have all Arsenal stuff outside. For a random 2 NFL teams, they're just gonna be selling a bunch of random NFL crap outside, and so everybody's just buying like $20 like jerseys, like, oh, there's Dan Marino, like that type of thing.
Well, it's also nobody. You don't have a team. You don't have a local team to root for.
Yeah.
So like, if Arsenal came to play Man U at Cowboy Stadium, would they play
Sure.
each other?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I did it. I know everything about soccer. If they came and play in Cowboy Stadium and there's like, a bunch of people from England or Europe in general will go to the game and be like, oh, I'm going to wear my, Ronaldo Real Madrid shirt.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fair.
Did I do that team right?
Yeah, he doesn't play for them anymore, but yeah,
So close. Well,
Yep.
he's making like $400 million a year.
yeah,
in
he's in Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia. So
Great job.
money over respect for sure.
I'm proud of you for knowing more than one soccer team. So
Liverpool is also a team.
That is a team.
Ted Lasso coaches a team, Richmond.
I think that's a made up.
Is that a real team?
That's a made up team.
What's Ryan Reynolds' team?
That's Wrexham, and they are
Always forget that.
they're like in the 3rd division of English football, so like they get talked about a lot.
Didn't they
but-
just get bumped up?
Yeah, to
Yeah.
the 3rd division. They're not even in the
Good
championship.
job. Fist bump. Just kidding.
And I'm out of this good old China.
All right. Yes. Thank you again for our wonderful sponsor, Shiner Beers. Made in Texas for Texas 1909. Fellas, this was great. Great live show. Go Rangers tomorrow night. Quick prediction, Cody. Scherzer's pitching for Texas.
Ooh, 5 innings, 9 Ks.
Nice. And the Rangers win.
Rangers win 9-2.
Okay.
Really get the bats going. Mark, win. Rangers win. That's all I got.
Rangers will win. I'm saying 4-1. I think he's gonna shove. Bullpen's gonna shove. It's gonna be a great game. So
Okay.
congratulations to the Rangers for getting 3-0. And by the time you listen to this podcast again, they will be headed to the World Series. So go Rangers. Go Cowboys. Are the Cowboys on a bye? Cowboys are on a bye next week. We'll talk about everybody else but them. Thank God. Also, it's baseball season. All right.
Maybe basketball preview sometime.
Hockey just started.
December, maybe January or February. We'll do basketball. So,
All right.
all right. Well, until next week, we'll see y'all later.
Evan Carter, now that I've adopted you, you need to be home by 9 o'clock and make sure to take care of those Astros early. All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, Rangers.
Go Rangers. Peace.